Hello guys, welcome you all to the PyNet lab, and in this video we are actually trying to understand the topic of subnetting. If we look at the CCNA, so subnetting is one of the important topic we are going to have a look, right? When we learn about CCNA, we will came across some of the the topics which are not able to understand by the learners. They think like this is a very tough concept, but in this video I will make this very easy for you. We will look at some the magic formulas. We will look at some the enterprise scenario and how to resolve that. Okay, so let's begin the subnetting topic.
If you enjoyed the content of the video, don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe to our channel.
If I talk about the subnetting, like what is subnetting, if I want to just define the topic of subnetting. So subnetting refers to the dividation of the large network into the smaller network. That is subnetting. Okay, but when we talk about subnetting, first of all, we have to understand like why do we need subnetting? Okay, subnetting means divide one large network into smaller logical group, right? This is called subnetting. But if I talk about why we need subnetting, so it is something like different thing. Let's take it from a very simple scenario. We will have let's suppose 5 departments in our enterprise, right? In all these 5 departments we have 10 PC each, right? So in total we are actually getting the 50 PCs. Now what is the issue? Let's take a scenario. We have a networking device called switch where we have the multiple PCs connected together. What is happening here? Let's suppose this PC1 is trying to communicate with the particular PC in the network, right? So it will generate a unicast broadcast message at first. What will happen? Because we are not following such concept of subnetting right now, so all these packets is going to travel via all PC and everyone is going to receive it. So they are going to unnecessarily receive it. There will be no better management, there will be a no security. It will create a broadcast traffic, it will create the congestion, right? But if I said you like we have something to just resolve this issue, so we are coming across with the topic called subnetting. In subnetting, let's again take the same example. We have a switch, we have some particular PCs here, right? Now because we have the subnetting, so we are just defining them into the two different subnetworks. They are a part of a one single network, but their operationals are functionals and different. So let's suppose this is called our subnet 1, this is called our subnet 2. Let's suppose this is PC1, this is PC2, right? This is PC3, this is PC4. If the PC1, which is lying in the subnet 1, is trying to communicate with the PC3, then the broadcast message will not going to cross the subnet 1, right? It will remain in the subnet 1 only. It will not going to advertise in every PC, it will not going to advertise at every subnet. So with the help of subnetting, actually what you are doing, you are reducing your broadcast traffic, right? So you have a minimal broadcast traffic. Along with this, here you are getting the better management, you are getting the better security, right? So now we are good with like what is subnetting and why do we need subnetting. Now let's talk about the core process of subnetting. If we come to the calculations and the concept of subnetting, we actually require 6 things to find out. First of all, the number of subnets, then the number of hosts per subnet, then we have something called block size, then we have something called NID. NID means network ID. Then we have something called BID called broadcast ID. And in the last but not least, we have the subnet mask. If you are able to find out these 6 things, then everything will be sorted out, right? So we'll take a one more enterprise example and we'll try to figure it out one by one. First of all, we'll go with the example like what is the requirement we have. So let's suppose we have a company name, let's ABC. We have a company in which we are following this network 192.168.1.0 via 24, right? First of all, try to understand this value 24. 24 means all bits are up in the network, right? Let's suppose if we talk about the IPv4, in total we have 32 bits, we have 4 octet, we have 8 bits per octet, right? So 8 plus 8 plus 8 become 24. So you can understand like 3 octet are running in the network and the last octet is for the host octet. The by default subnet mask for the C class is 255.255.255.0. How you are going to get this value 255? So it is a very simple formula. Basically in the subnetting, the bits we are going to calculate from the power of 2. Okay, so we have 8 bits. So what we are going to do, we are going to get some values with the power of 2. Let's suppose with the power of to the power 0, then to the power 1, then to the power 2, to the power 3, to the power 4, to the power 5, to the power 6, to the power 7. When you just solve them, what you will get? You will get the values like 1, you will get the values like 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. When you add this value, you will get the sum of 255. Now, if you are getting a 255 value in the subnet mask, what does it mean? It is saying that your all 8 bits are now 1 and they are running in network. By default, the all bits are 0, 0, 0, 0. When they are running in the network, they will become 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And the sum is like this. So you will add from right to left. Okay, so this is the concept. Now let's come back to the example. We have the network 192.168.1.0 and here the client require 4 subnets. So how you are going to do that? First of all, you have to find out like how you are going to find out the prefix value. If you require the 4 subnet, then what would be the prefix value? How much bits you require to make the 4 subnet? So if you find out the number of subnet, the formula is pretty simple. You have to keep the value in the power of 2 and you will get. Okay, so I'm just taking it n only. Okay, now just keep the value. What value you will keep in the power of 2 to get the your requirement for subnet? Then answer will be 2, right? So you require 2 extra bit if you want a 4 subnet. Extra bit means already you have 24 bits in the network, but you require 2 extra bit in the network. So 24 plus 2 will become 26. So your new prefix value will be /26. According to this value /26, you are going to calculate your revised new subnet mask. So it will be 255, 255, 255, and in the last octet, what value will be there? So you have to look at the magic table, which is 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. You will add from the 1. So here the 2 bits are extra required, right? We are in the last octet. So you have required 2 bits, so 1 and 2. Just add these number, you will get 192 here. This is your revised subnet mask. So whatever the value you are getting behind this slash, these are the network bits which are already up in the network, right? So from this two thing, we have actually calculate the number of subnets, right? We require 4 subnets. And for that, we require the value of 26. With the help of 26, we are requiring the value of subnet mask, that is 255, 255, 255.192. Now we would like to require the block size. Block size means it will define like per subnet how many IPs you will have, right? So the block size will be minus from the 256. This is the value you have to minus. Now you have to minus the changing value of your subnet mask. Here, if you look at the changing value, it is 192 actually. These are remain same, right? So 192. You will get the answer 64 here. So 64 IPs you will get per subnet. Okay. Now you can easily define your number of subnet. Okay, let me define the number of subnet. If I just number one, then your number one will be 192.168.1.0. It is the starting point, and it will goes up to 192.168.1.63, right? So total IPs is 64 IPs you are getting here. The first IP will be your NID IP. The second IP, the last IP will be your BID. NID means network ID, which define the network. BIDs mean the broadcast ID. These two IPs are not included in the usable IP. So always remember, whatever the block size value you are getting, just minus 2 and you will get the number of usable IP. So in this particular subnet, 62 host will be the usable host. NID and BID are not included. In the same manner, you can calculate your another subnet. So let me go for the number 2. It is called 192.168.1.64, and it will goes up to 192.168 uh, 1.127. This is your second subnet. Here you are also getting the say 64 IPs. You have to go in the addition of 64. Let's begin. You are begin from 0, then 64, then add more 64, you will get 127, then add one more 64, you will get the values, right? Like this. So now come in the network number 3. Here you have 192.168 1.128, and it will goes up to 192.168 1.191 in the addition of 64 only. And then finally the last subnet 192.168.1.192, and the last value you will get 192.168 1.255. These are the four subnet, and per subnet you are getting 62 usable hosts, and total IPs are 64. NID and BID are not included. If you want to calculate the host, then you can also do it from the formula. You have to minus the prefix value from the total number of bits. So total numbers of bits is 32. The prefix value is 26. You will get 6. You have to keep this value of 6 in the power of 2 and then minus 2. Minus 2 means NID and BID. So here you will get 64 minus 2, you will get 62 host. This is another formula, right? So now you have your all four subnets, you have all the calculations. This is called simple subnetting. In order to understand it, just have the magic table 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Then you will actually resolve any of the issue, right? So this is all up to the subnetting. In the next video, we will begin with this real lesson and we'll look at some of the typical topics, right? Thank you so much.